What I want to do is enhance it for people, to make them look at it in a different way, but also in a way that's possibly slightly more in step with what the likes of George Lucas wanted people to see it as. When A New Hope, the first Star Wars film, came out, there's testimony from George Lucas that he's actually a little bit annoyed that people didn't get like the subtext to it, that they were coming out kind of going, that was a great Star Wars, space pew pew science fiction film, and they didn't get the underlying critique of the Vietnam War, which is understandable because when I watched Star Wars for the first time as a child, when I was 8 years old, I didn't watch it and then head out to the kitchen and say to my parents, mother, father, I think we need to talk about the effect of the Vietnam War on the wider global sphere, because I was 8 years old and it didn't mean anything to me. So people have kind of absorbed parts of Star Wars at different times of their life. So what I want my talk to do is to kind of take people back to the moment that it was written, or the moment it was filmed, or the moment it was released, and say, if we look at it again now with slightly clearer eyes, these are the fairly obvious historical examples that we can spot. We can take interviews from the authors or the directors or the actors, where they are very explicit about what it was that they were trying to do, but for whatever reason that historical transmission didn't properly kind of permeate popular imagination. So I'm hoping that I'll shine a little bit of a light on that for people. Star Wars is always going to react to whatever's going on in the world, firstly because it gives inspiration, much like any other type of media. So recently we've seen TV shows like Andor, which I absolutely love to bits, which had like a plot point about the prison industrial complex, about prisoners being made to work for free in bad conditions, producing things for the state. There was stuff in there about kind of the banality of evil that's often referred to of the Nazis, people doing evil by paperwork. There was kind of an ongoing plot point in that. We've just had the TV show Ahsoka, which had a significant plot point about appeasement, kind of pre-Second World War appeasement of kind of villainous states. The idea, if we just kind of don't antagonize them, we don't get involved in this, it will just work out fine. They're doing an interwar years period, which is quite fun and interesting. But also because of a result of kind of being spotted when I was writing the book, I've slightly hopped the fence a little bit. In that a few years ago, I co-wrote a kind of an official licensed Star Wars book with the publisher DK and with Lucasfilm, which was kind of like it was called Battles That Changed the Galaxy. That was like a military history in universe of the Star Wars universe. And it becomes obvious when you're interacting with it on that side of the fence, the extent to which everybody involved is aware of the rules of Star Wars, that Empire's the bad guys, the Jedis have the Force, all of this type of thing, or the Jedi have the Force rather than to pluralize them. But also that, it's okay to draw inspiration from the real world because it's natural. It's what Star Wars has always done.